You are listening to Power Marketing with Kevin Lee. Here's Kevin.
Yeah, one thing that I like to advise clients on, if they have the business intelligence in the background to be able to do it, is to sort of try to segment even their prospecting at the company level and at the individual level into sort of predicted close rates and predicted value to the company, including potentially lifetime value. Because sometimes when you've got a budget, a monthly budget, whether it's 10,000 or 100,000, you want to heavy up against those super valuable companies. If you decide that real estate prospects are worth twice as much as accounting prospects, you want to spread your budget in that way that you're more likely to be hitting the real estate prospects than the accounting prospects. But you may want to cover everything, right? You may want to still be there for the accounting prospects, but maybe you're less aggressive, less budget, proportional to the value to you as a client. So do you find that some of your more sophisticated clients, your clients have that data, right, where they can give you a lot of granularity as to, it's this SIC code in these geographies or whatever their target filter that is? Do they have that information at their fingertips?
For the most part, yes. I think a lot of clients that we work with have that information. And because of the trust we build, it really starts with that trust and saying, hey, Kevin, look, what are your expectations of this campaign? I start out every conversation that I have, if I'm further along the path, before I talk even budgets or anything, it's okay, what are your expectations? Well, I want to send 1,000 emails and get 1,000 clients. I do too. Everyone does, right? But it really is those expectations. But also, it also starts with trust. Can you share with me some data that who are your best clients? Can I take a look at those? Send it hashed, and we can match it back to our database and model it and say, oh, these are your customers. But it's also having a partner, any partner out there, whether it's Starista, whether it's Did It, whether it's anyone else, talk to them about optimizing the campaign, taking a look at that. Who's opening, who's clicking, who's responding, and then shifting budget accordingly, where you want a partner to do that. You want a team behind you to do that. So I think it's a matter, to answer your question, so yes, to the point where they can share if they even know, which most of them do. And if they don't, be open to allowing a trusted partner to help you with that process.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. Sometimes, when you discuss the expectations and there's sort of a mismatch between expectations and budget. I'll say, well, because we do in fact know what your most valuable prospects look like, why don't we double down the budget there instead of spreading too thin, right? Because if the budget spreads so thin that the average impression count is 2 per month, right, for an individual, nobody's going to respond, right? Nobody will have reached that saturation tipping point where they start to respond. And so you'll have spread yourself too thin.
Absolutely.
So we always like to sort of stack rank, at least our philosophy is like stack rank your effective media based on what's going to work best. And then if you've only got X amount of budget, start with the stuff that's going to work strongest. And in the case of lists, start with the strongest leads. So, I think advising them that way, in your case, they'll come back and they'll buy more leads, or they'll broaden out their geographies, or they'll broaden out their SIC code classifications. As it's working for their top categories, they'll move into other categories.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really a matter of it's that. And then you also have to test. You also have to be willing to test and see what works, because there may be channels that you don't know. And look, no one gets it right every time. There's been scenarios where, okay, these are realistic expectations. Let's see. And then, the audience dictates whether they like your offer or not. The audience dictates whether they like you or not, in so many ways. It's like, well, you're putting it out there. There's only so much. Maybe it's too aggressive. Maybe it's not the audience. You have to test different things, especially clients who are just starting out, and there's that brand awareness piece. It's like, no, I want to go right to a demo of my product. It's like, well, people don't even know who you are yet. So you have to ease them in. Imagine if would you take a demo with a company you haven't known from one email? Not all the time. So you have to ease them into that.
Kevin Lee's Power Marketing is available on all your favorite podcast networks. Kevin loves helping businesses excel at marketing. Having marketing challenges? Just like Santa in the Miracle on 34th Street, if Kevin can't help you, he'll know someone who can. Find him on LinkedIn, subscribe, or follow.
Yeah, people forget that